I should show up to Thanksgiving. By the way, this should be the only Thanksgiving I consent to going to because it doesn't happen. Last year, my family did like a Zoom dumb thing, or they did a Zoom Easter.
Oh, man.
Not last year, but, a few months ago.
Right.
They did a Zoom Easter, and nobody knows what's going on. Half the people in my family are drug addicts. They're like, they just see them staring. They're like, I'm like, are they okay? Do they need help? They're they're living in their own filth. We see that. Their Zoom background is just a mattress on a floor. They're like, Happy Easter, Nanny! Happy. They're mid-overdose, trying to get the words Happy Easter out of their mouth, foaming at the mouth. I'm like, who needs this? Get me out of here. I didn't even go into it. Somebody screenshotted it and sent it to me. I said, I will not be participating. By the way, listen to this. My stepmother sends me a thing today. She sends me a link. Goes, my mother's turning 80. Can you make her a video? What do you want me to wish her happy birthday as Epstein's temple? What do you want me to do? So, these things now where it's like somebody's birthday, everybody has to make a video and send it to them.
Yes.
Hi, thinking of you. Wish we could be there. So I just, I have my glasses on. I'm like, hey, Dorothea, we love you. Stay strong. I said, stay strong. Like the woman has cancer. Right. It's just her birthday. My black glasses on. I'm like, Dorothea, I love you. Stay strong. Better days ahead. This is what I say. I don't even realize what I'm saying. I go, stay strong. Like literally she got diagnosed with a disease. I'm just wishing her happy birthday. She's actually in great health. Probably in much better health than me. Imagine that a fat guy telling you to stay strong. Right. Like I look like I'm literally dead and I'm like, Dorothea, stay strong. Better days ahead. I go, better days ahead. And then I go, stay safe. And then I swear to God, I go like this. I go, see you on the other end. And then I finally say, happy birthday. It's the most cryptic and disturbing message. I didn't know what to say. And then I'm like, done. And then I just hit send because I didn't want to edit it. Right. So literally the whole video is, hey, Dorothea, stay strong. Better days ahead. I'll see you on the other end. Out. And then probably cuts to somebody who's like, happy birthday. We love you. And it's literally sandwiched in between two peppy happy birthdays. It's like, happy birthday to you. And then they cut to me and I'm like, Dorothea, stay strong. When I make it, I'll send word for you. Stay safe. Better days ahead. Just in black glasses. And then it cuts to somebody being like, happy birthday. How old are you now? I look like I'm in a safe house. I'm just laying on my bed like this top. Uh-huh. Hey. Happy birthday. I can barely breathe. I think I have COVID. I'm like, happy birthday. I smoked too many cigarettes last night. I'm like, happy birthday. Stay safe. Better days ahead. Hope to see you on the other side. It's just the darkest.
And you're wearing sunglasses?
I'm wearing black sunglasses because I was outside in the pool, and then I get this message like, hey, you gotta wish this woman happy birthday because she gives a fuck. They asked a couple of my cousins who are on heroin. They're on smack. They've met it twice. When you have a divorced family, nobody knows who anyone else is. They're going to ask her for money. Hi. Happy birthday, Dorothea. I've run into some hard times, and I want to let you know if I give you my bank account number, is there any way you could send a wire here? Could you send a wire here, please? I'm suffering. And I need fucking help. That's great. How great would it be? Next time somebody has you do one of those video birthday messages, do something like that, Especially if you don't know the person, you're kind of annoyed by it. I know this woman. I love her. She's a phenomenal woman. She lived in I like anyone who's lived in London. Her and her husband are great. Her husband's great because he doesn't give a shit. Like he's argued in front of the Supreme Court. He's rude. He belittles people. He ruins holidays. And there's no archetype of person that I like more than that. He did a thing where he had this game they would play after the holidays where he would bring a thing that nobody knew what it was, and you would pass it around and you got to ask him a question about it. You'd be like, was this a tool? Was this used, whatever? And was this used in food production? And you would ask him a question, and you'd get to go around the table, and then somebody would guess what it was, and they would move on. This game got so competitive that he was banned from doing it because it got so, because he would be so specific about the answers he would give, like he was in a courtroom. Like if somebody would say, was this in food production? He'd be like, no. And then you'd find out it kind of was, but it was involved in the harvesting he was so specific that people would get pissed off. And then people go, hey man, I fucking kind of said that, didn't I? And he'd be like, well, you didn't. And he'd be like, words matter and what you did. And they would start fighting. Yeah. So he was banned from doing this. Like they had to come. And by the way, he wasn't doing it at his own parties. He was bringing it in our family. Like he was just bringing it to our, like people he didn't know that well and it got fiercely competitive. And his name is Henry. I think he's great. And they would be like, he'd say at the end of the night, he'd be like, do you want to play the game? And everyone's like, oh, let's go play Henry's game. And then like 30 to 40 minutes in, it had gone around 5 times. Yeah. Nobody had gotten it. And he'd refuse. He'd be like, send it around again. And it would just be this little weird pipe thing. And he always brought 3 or 4 of them. We'd only get to like 1 of them. Because also a lot of people in my family are retarded. So they have no idea. They'd hold up like this little thing, like a little lever thing, you know? And they'd be like, did you find it in outer space? And he'd be like, no. I'm like, we're going to be here for the rest of the night unless you ask some good questions. You know, but they're all drunk and idiots. I have lawyers in my family who are like not lawyers. I have people with law degrees. My aunt has a law degree, doesn't practice. They've set up in the basement a fake law. You want to talk about fake business? A fake desk where she thinks she's practicing law. And there's nothing, nothing's happening. She's a pretend attorney in the basement of the house. This is the tragedy of the Irish. No one tells her that she's not practicing law. She's never seen a courtroom. She's worked at a few law firms, but they keep throwing her out because she's a problem. And so she sits downstairs and gets wine drunk and pretends to do law. I don't even know what that entails. There's like files on the desk. She's got phones. She said once, she goes, we got to put a few phone lines in for the business. What? The business? But these are the people who are asking the questions of this really smart guy. And he's a fiercely liberal guy, but very smart. Tough to get in an argument with him. Was like a Cuban orphan or something. Laudable life story. He's like one of those guys who like, he's a dick, but he's earned the right to be a dick because he's so fucking smart and he's really lived a hell of a life, right? But he used to just throw everyone into a rage with that game. But if you have to record one of these videos, you gotta just, when you do it, when you hit record, you gotta go, hey, Jocelyn, happy birthday. Times are not good. I know you and Frank are not doing well either, but I'd really like some help. So I'm asking, I know it's your birthday, but I'm asking you for help. So for the love of God, please give me a call. I haven't heard from you in months. Send something. The kids are going to bed hungry. Like something like that. Because then, by the way, it would cut right after that to, happy birthday, Jocelyn. Like it's fun. I think it's rude to ask people for video messages. Mm-hmm. Just assume people kind of love you, which is what a family is. A family is a bunch of people who kind of love each other. I don't want to see anyone die. That's the standard of love in most families. Yeah, I don't want to see anyone get demolished in a car wreck. But what else? That's the standard of love in most families. Yes, I would be very upset. When I say very upset, I would be bothered. Let's take it down. I would be bothered if one of my family members was mangled in a wreck. You know what I mean? Like I would feel bad for the other people involved. And I would say, that's not good. I would call Benjamin and I go, that's not good. But then we'd start talking about sponsors and ads quickly because You move on. You move on from these things. I mean, people are asking me to birthday videos. I haven't seen these people in 6 months. We're done already. If you don't see people in the flesh, this is the problem. If we go through the holidays this year and you don't see anybody, you're kind of done. You're out. You don't go back next year. If you're out for a year, it's hard to go back. Now, obviously, you can go back. Many of you will go back because you're weak. But if you've gone the full year and you're going to do holidays on your own and you're going to realize that you can do that. Most people don't think they can do a holiday on their own. I've gone out to dinner with people. My mother didn't like my father's family because they all used to drink and she would instead take pills. So she didn't like that. She didn't like, she didn't like that they were drinking all the time and she just wanted to take Sudafed in the diner. Hats off to Mom. And she would go have Thanksgiving by herself at 3 p.m. at a diner in Long Island. They do a nice job. They do a good job. It's tragic either way. If you're sitting next to some drunk who's gargling some problem she has with another family member from 20 years ago, or if you're sitting alone at a diner eating cranberry sauce, all pilled up, whichever way you cut the turkey, it's a shit day. So you don't have to, you see what I'm getting at here, folks. Make choices, live by the choices.